It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, 2 outstanding elementary schools here to play our game. Let's meet them right now. First from Melwood Elementary, would you say hello to Noah Oxley, Jamie Petty, and William Jang. And from Pointer Ridge Elementary, here they are, Anaya Brantley, Spencer Marks, and Madison Watley. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the questions. The easier questions are on the left, worth 5 and 10. The tougher ones, worth 15, 20, ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. Into the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 great, good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance in our competition to the semifinal round. Let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's go with the red team. Jamie, would you try your buzzer? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Noah, and to William. Spencer, try the green team buzzer. Looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, to Madison, and to Anaya. Congratulations, teams. If you're a little bit nervous, that's normal. I'm nervous, too. We want to stay at the top of our game. We want to have a great time, but no matter what happens, you've won because your schools chose you to be ambassadors. So you've done a great job no matter what happens here today. Let's go alphabetically to start, M before P. So Melwood, Jamie, let's start the bowl. Go.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, if you remember Dr. Seuss, you remember Horton the elephant. Horton was not oviparous, but he did the noble thing by doing what? Pointer Ridge.
Sitting on a bird's egg.
Yeah, he sat on an egg. An oviparous creature lays eggs. Elephants don't lay eggs. They're placental. But he did that for Maisie and had that hatchling come into the world. Nicely done. Go green.
Body systems for 10 points.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, among the many reasons why people shouldn't smoke, a new study says that girls who smoke when they're young suffer a lack of density in these body parts, which may predispose them to osteoporosis. What body parts lose density by smoking? Jamie?
Lungs.
Not lungs. Good try. Pointer Ridge? Osteoporosis could be down the road for young girls who smoke now because it affects the density of their what?
Heart.
Their bones. Bones. Osteoporosis. That's a disease where bones start to get brittle. Try again green. Spencer, you pick.
Body systems for 5 points.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, when America and Russia were about to go to war, we were looking at the Russians and the Secretary of State said we were eyeball to eyeball, and the other guy just blanked. What do? Melwood.
Shot.
No, 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 no. What did he do? We were eyeball to eyeball, and the other guy just what, Spencer?
Blink.
Blinked. That's right, he blinked. That took the tension away. That is one way that one person knows that the other one is being somewhat submissive. Try again, green. Yes, sir.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you eat spices, you're eating maybe part of the root of a plant, maybe the stem, maybe the fruit. But if you're eating herbs, you're only eating what parts of a plant? Melwood?
Leaves.
Leaves, yes indeed. All herbs are leaves. The red team is now on the board. Go, Jamie.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, astronomers have found a lake made of methane on Titan, which is a moon that surrounds what sixth planet from the sun?
Saturn.
Saturn, yes indeed. Good answer. Go, green.
Told you. Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, the thorns on a cactus are the cactus's leaves, but they are there mostly to deter herbivores from eating the cactus. They do not perform what food-making process that leaves normally do. Melwood.
Photosynthesis.
You got that right, photosynthesis. They cannot produce foods in those thorns. Nicely done. Good answer. Go, Jamie. 75-85, you're just 10 down.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, there is a gun called the XRF, the X-ray fluorescent scanner, which you can wave over the ground, and it will detect this dangerous chemical element that at one time was found in paint that babies would chew on and was found in gasoline as well. What dangerous chemical can you detect with that XRF gun, Jamie?
Uranium.
Not uranium. Good try. Pointer Ridge, can you tell me the name of that dangerous chemical element? Yes, sir. Lead. Lead. Used to be lead in paint, lead in gasoline. We know that it can really damage a person's nervous system. All right, let's focus more. Talk less among yourselves. Focus on these questions. Melwood, go.
Super 8 for 25. Super 8 for 25.
Super 8 for 25. The big one in that category, teams, it's a three-part answer. You need to give me all three, so listen carefully. We know that a shark and a penguin and a dolphin all have streamlined bodies that can make them move through the water easily. But they all have different ways of doing that. They have analogous structures, which is amazing because those three animals, that shark, that penguin, and that dolphin, are members of what three different groups of creatures? All right, Melwood, give me all three.
Mammals, fish, and birds.
You got them all. A mammal, a fish, and a bird with analogous structures to keep them streamlined. Mother Nature's come up with different solutions to that. Now in the lead. Go, Rick.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Seems a multiple choice question. You've all heard of ibuprofen. You take it to relieve pain. Sometimes runners, marathon runners, take ibuprofen prophylactically, meaning they take it before the race, during the race, or after the race. They take it prophylactically. Melwood.
Before the race.
Before the race. They take it beforehand to anticipating the pain that may come. Absolutely right. The buzzer is rung. That means the first round is over. Let's look at that score. Melwood 115, Pointer Ridge 85. Good game. We'll be back with round 2 in a moment. Don't you go away.
I knew I needed help paying for college. My parents divorced when I was 3, and there's no way they could pay for it all. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be a teacher. I used to put together worksheets, and I made my friends do them when they came over. After a while, nobody wanted to come over anymore. My guidance counselor was the one who told me about federal student aid, and my mom was a big help in filling out the free application. It was a challenge, but so worth it when I got the grants and loans that made school possible. What would I tell other kids? I would tell them not to give up, to look for options to go to school. There is a way. You just have to find it. You might have to work and save, but it is what you make it. Life is what you make it. My name is Caitlin. I'm going to be a special education teacher. I'm going to live my dream.
I always thought being a good mother meant raising my baby myself. But when I got pregnant, I realized I wasn't ready to be a parent. So I did something I thought I could never do. I chose adoption. It was really hard, but I know my baby is with a loving family and has a very bright future.
Sometimes choosing adoption is being a good mother. Visit us at ichooseadoption.org.
Welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice to have you here today. Hope you're enjoying this game at home as much as we are here in the studio. We have 6 good players here. They're still a little nervous. They're finally getting their sea legs here as we head into the second round. They are doing remarkably well. We're proud of all of them. Let's go over and find out about them. Let's go to the Melwood team, the team in red with those matching Science Bowl shirts. You guys look good today. You look really good. Jamie, tell me who your principal is.
My principal is Christelle Fawcett.
Wonderful. And is out there rooting for you. I know she is. And tell me, who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Perrin and Mrs. Marshall.
Both of them are here, and Miss Perrin especially has been here before as a judge. It's been a long time since she was here. We're so glad she's back and has a team ready to go this year. Tell me how you got prepared for this, because you're so good. Did you practice?
Yeah, we practice before last week, we were practicing every day at 12 o'clock during our lunchtime while we eat. And last week, before today, we were practicing every day at 12 o'clock.
Wow, so you really have prepared for this, and it shows. You guys are doing a super job. And tell me, were there any alternates on your team, Jane?
Yes, our alternate is Liliana.
Wonderful. We'll bring her out and your 2 sponsors in a few moments. I always like to ask team captains what it is about their schools that they really, really like. What do you brag about when you talk to people about Melwood?
Well, what I really like is that they have book fairs and they have shops at the school, like today. And we have, we usually go.
So you have like a book fair there? And you said shops, places where you can buy things? That's wonderful. And William, what are you whispering?
I was telling Jamie that they also, almost every day, they sell candy at the end of the day.
Sell candy at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't care how old you get, we all love candy. It's like, Halloween is like the best holiday ever. Jamie, nice to have you here. You're a good captain. You've got that quick trigger finger there, and someday what do you want to do?
I want to be a chemist.
A chemist. And he had a chemistry set at one time, and I think he used up all the ingredients and kind of broke on you, right? So Santa Claus, if you're listening, Jamie needs another chemistry set out there. William, nice to have you here today. Why did you want to be on the show?
Because at my old school, I seen people doing it look kind of fun. So when my old school was doing it, I don't think they took a test like we did, but I don't think I was there on that day. But if I was there, I definitely would have been on there the first time.
We're really happy that you got here this time because we're enjoying having you here. You want to be a paleontologist someday? And I know you're just seeped in dinosaur lore. You love dinosaurs, don't you? Good for you. Noah, nice to have you with us. Young man who wants to go to Harvard someday, and among the many things he wants to be is a president, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you were the president of the United States, what would be one of the first things you'd do for us?
I'll lower gas prices to $1 like they used to be.
Let's swear this guy in right now. Good job, Noah.
Vote for me.
Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to dream these things than to actually make them take place. But I love your aspiration. What else do you want to do? There are a whole long list of things. You want to be an artist? You want to be a president? What else?
I want to play baseball because my uncle says I'm a natural at batting.
Yeah. And if you got a natural talent, it takes someone sometimes to point it out to you. So I hope you do play baseball.
And I'm a natural artist. I didn't even need art classes, but I am great at art.
So you inherited some really good traits there, some good genes there, Noah. Nice to have you on the show. Pointer Ridge, nice to have you guys here. Spencer, tell us about Pointer Ridge. You're over in Bowie, and Miss Reedy is your sponsor. She's been with us for many years off and on, and she always sends us great teams. She's a great educator. Spencer, who's your principal?
Dr. Mary Stevenson.
Wonderful. And I know she's out there behind you. And any alternates on your team?
Yes, Madison Green.
Madison Green. All right, so we already have one Madison here. We have another Madison out there in the wings. We'll bring her out in just a few moments. Tell me about Pointer Ridge. What's really great about that school?
Pointer Ridge, the kids are really nice, and if you don't understand something or you didn't learn it, the teachers will help you and help you understand it.
That's really important because not everybody moves along at the same rate. And if you don't want to be left behind, and good teachers notice that and provide extra help. Spencer, what do you want to do someday?
I want to be a professional basketball player, and if I don't become a professional basketball player, I want to be a police officer.
I can see you. You look like a real cool-headed guy. I'm sure you could do either one of those jobs. And you play for the South Bowie Boys and Girls Club team already?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Nice to have you as the captain. Madison, nice to have you with us today. Young lady who's a scholar athlete, you're a gymnast, and you play soccer, and you're good at science. How do you know so much science?
My dad, he lets me watch shows, and we read my science book, and we read different books, and yeah.
That's great. So you have lots of resources there. You've got a parent who's really behind you and driving you forward. That's great, Madison. And Anaya, tell us about yourself. What's your story? What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I like to draw, read, and I also like writing.
Yeah. Now, have you written anything? Have you written a poem or a book of any kind?
Well, I am writing a book currently.
Ah. Can you tell us the title? Or is that a secret?
It is a secret.
Sometimes they like to keep that a secret until it finally comes out. What's it about? Can you tell us what it's about?
That is also a secret.
Oh, all right. We will not go there. Talented young lady. Let's get back to our game. Pointer Ridge 85, Melwood 115. Last correct answer came from Jamie. So Jamie, start us out. Lots of points to give away. Here we go, guys.
Super 8 for 20.
Super 8 for 20.
Zoop prayed for 20 points. Teams, what crafty cephalopod is called the chameleon of the sea because it can change colors based on the background? Melwood?
Cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish, yeah. We would also have accepted squid or an octopus. They can change colors even based on their moods. Go, Red.
Dateline for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, it was about as big as a Labrador Retriever, but it had a 5-foot-long tail, and paleontologists say Nyasasaurus could have been the very first one of these. Spencer.
Dog.
Not a dog. No, Melwood.
A cat.
A dinosaur. A dinosaur. It was about as big as a Labrador Retriever with a 5-foot-long tail. Anytime you hear saurus, William will tell you this, Nyasasaurus, they think it might have been the very first dinosaur. Try Red again.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, put on your thinking caps. Someday they want to put plants on Mars, but they got to get it warmer. So they're trying to figure a way to pump more carbon dioxide and water vapor and methane onto Mars to heat it up. All those gases are known as what kind of gases? Because heating up a planet is a lot like heating up a place where plants live here on Earth. What kind of gases are they called? Jamie.
Carbon dioxide.
Not carbon. I already gave you carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane. These gases are all known as what kinds of gases because they can help heat up a planet.
Self-heat producing?
That sounds really good to me, but the correct answer is greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases. Have you heard of those before? You know where the heat goes in but it can't get out? Greenhouse gases. Nice try, both teams. Keep at it. You guys come up with some really plausible answers here. Go, Red.
Super 8 for 10.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. You'll get this one. Teams, medical researchers are coming up with a new hypodermic needle based on the quills of this prickly rodent. Melwood.
Porcupine.
A porcupine. Yeah, a neat word to say. All right, go Red.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri for 10 points. Teams, back in 1870, Jules Verne wrote a great book. I know you guys are readers, called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It was about a submarine that had to dive quickly because what kind of tropical storm that occurs in the Atlantic Ocean was raging up above? What storm forced them to dive, Melwood?
Hurricane.
A hurricane. That's what I want to hear. Come on, Spencer, jump on that buzzer. Trust your first instinct. Madison and Anaya, you keep them on track over there, all right? Get them to answer. Go, Red.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Everyone will know this one. One of the most famous children's books ever is about the insatiable appetite of what larva of a butterfly? Melwood.
The hungry caterpillar.
The very hungry caterpillar ate everything in sight. Absolutely right. Okay, go Red.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. This is strange but true. They're selling a new kind of coffee for $500 a pound, $50 a cup. It is good to the last dropping because they feed coffee beans to elephants. The coffee beans go through its stomach where the beans ferment, and then the beans come out in their what? Melwood.
Feces.
Feces, absolutely right. Elephant poop. They take the beans out, they grind them up, and they sell it for that price? No, thank you. Give me Nescafe. Go red. Jamie.
Dateline for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. A multiple choice question. Look at the monitor in the studio, please. Look at the monitor, please. Teams, a famous doctor at Johns Hopkins University is famous for separating Siamese or conjoined twins. Is that Dr. Robert Gallo, Michael DeBakey, or Ben Carson? Jamie.
Ben Carson.
It is Ben Carson, absolutely right. A role model for so many young people. He is up there at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. All right, go. Red. Yes, sir. Jamie, you pick.
Dateline. Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, you may remember or have heard of Houdini, the magician who was buried alive, was also suspended in ice. He survived it all, but he eventually died of something called peritonitis. When this A-initialed organ in his body burst, an organ that is part of the digestive system and has no use whatsoever. Come on, Spencer.
Appendix?
Appendix, that's right. His appendix burst and he suffered from peritonitis. Now go, let's get some points. More.
At least we got 100.
Go ahead, Spencer.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Teams, the big question in that category, teams, if a plant lives its whole life in 1 year, it's called an annual. If it comes back year after year after year, it's called a perennial. But celery is an unusual plant. It has a lifespan of not just 1 year or many years, but 2 years only. Therefore, it's not called an annual or a perennial, but this. It's a biennial. Biennial. Bi meaning two. Try again, green. Try. Oh, see, now they're all.
I forgot that.
See, judges, how smart they get after the fact here. You guys are good. Keep it up. Go green. Come on, Spencer. Still doable here.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, let's talk plant plumbing. The tube that goes from the leaves to the roots is called the phloem. The tube that goes the other way, Jamie?
Stem.
Not stem. The plant plumbing that goes from the leaves down to the roots and takes the food from the leaves into the roots is called the phloem. The tube that comes up from the roots, bringing up the water and the nutrients, is known by this X initial term. Xylem. Xylem was the right answer. You can't ring in twice, Jamie. All right. Go again, please. Spencer, you choose.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, if sometimes you can't catch your breath, they'll give you a paper bag, and you breathe into the paper bag because you want to get more of what gas to restart your breathing system, Melwood?
Oxygen.
No, not oxygen. Pointer Ridge, you're trying to get more of what gas?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, yes. The greater the concentration of carbon dioxide, the more you'll settle down and start to breathe. Good, come back. Go green.
Green things for 5.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, listen. Back in 1972, Eugene Cernan was the last man to do what Neil Armstrong was the first man to do back in 1969, Melwood.
First man on the moon.
That's right, walking on the moon. Absolutely right. Good. Red, go.
Literally.
Let's get physical for 25.
Get physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, you probably have done this in class. You have a bowl of water. You put a paper clip on top. The paper clip floats. Add some soap to that water. The paper clip sinks because what force is no longer intact on the top of that water there, Jamie?
Density.
Not density. That's not good try. Pointer Ridge. What force is changed as a result of putting soap in that water?
Buoyancy.
Judges, not quite. Surface tension. Surface tension is what we're looking for there. Nice tries there. No points. Go red. Choose, Jamie.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, this suffix, O-M-A, oma, if you say sarcoma, blastoma, or melanoma, it is associated with what deadly disease? If it ends in oma. Melwood.
Coma.
No, not coma. What disease is associated with the prefix, the suffix oma, O-M-A? Sarcoma, blastoma, melanoma. These are all forms of what kind of deadly disease? Give it a try.
Cancer?
Cancer, absolutely right. Good answer. Sad answer, but good answer. Go, green.
Dateline, science. No. Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, if you weigh 150 pounds here, on the moon you'd only weigh 25 pounds because the gravity is much less. But even though your weight changes, what other unit that determines the quantity of matter in your body stays the same? It stays the same, Jamie.
Mass.
Mass, that's right. William, thank you for your assist on that. Go, Melwood.
Science potpourri for 25.
Science potpourri for 25 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please. Beautiful but deadly. This is a red tide in the Indian Ocean. The microorganisms that produce this red tide are toxic. And the same toxin they produce is the kind that people sometimes inject into their face to get rid of the wrinkles. What is that toxin known as? Melwood.
Botox.
Botox it is, absolutely right. William was saying it as loud as he could. Botox, or the botulinum toxin, absolutely right. The buzzer has rung. Our game is over. It's been a good one. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't you go away.
I knew I needed help paying for college. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I used to make worksheets for my friends to do. No one ever wanted to come over. My guidance counselor told me about federal student aid, and my mom helped me fill out the free application. I got the grants and loans that made school possible. There is a way to pay for school. You just have to find it. My name is Caitlin. I'm going to be a special education teacher. I'm going to live my dream.
Welcome back. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. We had 6 outstanding young people here today. The one team isn't feeling too good, but that is not what they should be feeling because they did a super job for their school. We are happy that they were here. Our final tally is Pointer Ridge 145, Melwood 235, the team in red. They got the pom-poms, the cheerleaders, Noah and Jamie and William. And we also are very happy that Liliana is here, Miss Marshalik and Miss Perrin. Congratulations. We'll see you in the next round against Tyack. Pointer Ridge, I don't want to see these long faces. You played a good game, Anaya and Spencer and Madison. Madison Green, I'm proud of you too. Miss Reedy, thanks for being part of our game, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.